welcome to The Shining. So, yes, only got the Stanley Kubrick collection VHS on this one. And no intro because it's all copyrighted. So we'll start, as we mean to go on, with the theatrical cut. So, here we go. Boom, 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 boom. Let's get the deets up. And welcome everyone in. Good old Warner Brothers. So there we go. The big tracking shot that everyone knows. This might be so copyrighted. Well, on the small screen, it might be noticeable. But yeah, apparently they sent a team out to film what they wanted, and they didn't get what they wanted. So Kubrick fired all the team, and got someone else to go out there, and then they had to adjust the propellers on the helicopter so there was no judder, so it looked good. Hey, here's the usuals. Andy and Ian. Hello, Andy. Yes, I made it home safely twice. It was a bit hairy going back up. It was hairy coming back down after signing off with you lads. But I've got some Pinker's Crockery Pub Tropicana for me tonight. But yes, once I disconnected, I checked everything in the bag, and of course, everything was black. The night, the laptop, the bag, the cables, and everything. So, because the laptop was closed and flat, I couldn't see it. So there we go. But thanks, Ian, for worrying and for the money you sent yesterday. It's very kind of you. I put it in the heating box now, so I'm nice and warm. But yes, rotors adjusted, I think I was trying to say. But here we go, The Shining, featuring Danny Lloyd, who is now a teaching professor at a college. Scatman Crothers, who did the Hong Kong Fooey voice. Possibly heard about this US cut being longer than the UK cut. Yes, thank you. Welcome, Cohen. Thank you for that, reminding me. But yeah, so apparently this was released in America at the 2.5-hour version in whichever version I can find, not the 1997 version. Let's go. In America on June 13th, 1980 in the United States, and it was the 2.5-hour version. It got bad reviews, mostly bad reviews, and people complained that it was too long. So we get, when it came over to the UK despite the fact it was mostly filmed in the UK, October 5th, which, see, is why I'm doing it today, because it's the anniversary for the UK, because I'd already booked Psycho 2 for tomorrow, so it'll soon be time for this. It's a lovely, but yeah, people have noticed that when you see this shot of the hotel, there's no maze in the back. But yes, it was cut by half an hour. So there we go. And already this VHS is ahead of me. Who stole my remote? There we go. But yeah, so this is all a set in was it Elstree, I believe, in the UK. And then I think it was Empire Strikes Back was filming at the same time. Does this VHS have parts cut out? Technically, yes. But this VHS has that making of I uploaded earlier, which is a small, 20-minute behind the scenes, and it has the original trailer, which I would have shown at the beginning, but it's a teaser trailer and it's copyrighted. So I wouldn't have lasted long. So this is the first epic horror film, says Jack Kroll from Newsweek. And that's it. This is digitally restored and remastered, so it does look pretty good. So we're already off on the wacky design of the place, because the way they came into the place, there shouldn't be a window there, but Red Ram. So yes, it was Danny Lloyd's idea for the finger thing, I think, which because they had 4,000 kids to audition or look at and then whittle it down to some. But yeah, Danny Lloyd, I think this is his only acting credit, and he doesn't remember much about the film because when they made this, he was very young. Was he 6 or 7 or something? And then he was told it was a drama, and then that's why he's not in anything nasty that happens, and He's only doing reaction shots of stuff he's been told about, not what he can see. Hello. Oh, no worries, Ian. Thank you anyway. At least Ridley Scott got an ending for Blade Runner Kubrick. Yes, there's two connections to Blade Runner. The opening titles was one, which Blade Runner Ridley Scott used for the happy ending to Blade Runner. Can you name the other connection? Like how the Mason know it's seen in the shot of the hotel going up. Michael Myers has been ahead of me every day now. Hello, Boyd. I'm watching 1980s The Shining. Of course, the Johnny Carson reference is wasted on most of the UK by the time this came out. And probably quite late into the 90s. It's David Letterman. Hope this version has the teddy bear dude BJ scene. It does. If you, I think it's got the doctor who examines the kid at the beginning. That's missing. Most of Scatman Carruthers' journey is cut out. The second guy in the interview is cut out. Now, has anyone seen, was it Room 237, the documentary? But yes, the how does he do any action with that mask on? Because I think when you see him, his butt flap is open, and then but the mask is on and he's bending forward. From what I've seen, the longer version, the extra bits are just pointless padding. That they are. But then again, they are. If you're a fan of the film, it's the only one you can get now. Because I had to find an old DVD rip of this. Although that picture is very good on the VHS, even though not for you people. But yeah, I was shocked when, who was it? Michael Myers, I think, whatever, the other day. Which version I'm watching, because I always assumed it was the long version we had, but no, the VHS, which was produced in 2001. So before I think it was the later DVD after 2000, and then oh no, there's the other guy. I've been lied to him, but I think he just appears. I don't think he's introduced. He's just made to look like he's there, but of course they recreated this room for Doctor Sleep when he comes back. Ghostwatch copied this. All streams, no play. Hello, Matt. Yes, indeed. All streams. Psycho 2 tomorrow. Ghostwatch of the PJ scene. Kubrick was heavily tipped to direct Exorcist, and Friedkin came along. I often wondered what The Exorcist would have been like. That would have been very interesting. Because, was it Barry Lyndon that Kubrick directed was a box office failure, so he wanted a horror film to do a horror film next, and then as the story goes, he was reading lots of horror books, and then his secretary knew when he didn't like one because he'd throw it against the wall, and if she didn't hear a bang for a long time, she knew he was into it. And then, of course, one of them was The Shining, and Stephen King said he wondered why, because it's got a very slow build and not much happens, so he doesn't know how it worked. But unfortunately, this where is it? This had a budget of 12T. No, 19 million, which is quite a lot back then. But when you consider what they built set-wise, it's pretty good. But it made 47 million worldwide. But it did have bad reviews, and was it? I think Stanley Kubrick was up for worst director at the Razzies, and Shelley Long. Shelley Duvall was up for worst actress. But then years later, the Razzies learned of the stress she was under and blamed Kubrick for a bad performance, so they took her off. Neither one, though. I just had Daddy's haircut as a kid. Yes, I think anyone we ordered. So here we go. This is the first ribbit. There's a little badge of Dopey from the Seven Dwarfs on the door, and then there's people are saying that this bit when he's leaning over the sink is to do with a reference to the bear suit that'll be later. There's a hint of what goes on between him and his dad. But who knows? Kubrick has not said anything. It is a classic indeed. Doesn't Grady's first name change as well? Yes, it's I think it's Delbert later on, and it's Charles, I think, earlier on, and then they mentions the manager of the Overlook Hotel mentions that he had daughters 8 and 10, but of course we see them later as they look, well, they're acted by two same-age twins, but people said one does look a little bit different, but yeah. Ah, yes, it's very fascinating, that documentary. It starts off you think, oh yeah, that's true, and then here we go, the blood coming through the doors. So this took, I think it was almost a year. They had to do it so many times because every time they did it, Kubrick said that didn't look like blood until he was happy. But as we'll find out later on, this was a film of many takes. But yes, the documentary starts off thinking, okay, I can see that, and then by the end of it, it's off a cliff with their ideas. Because then people say that blood is because it's coming up from the ground, and of course the hotel is built on a ancient Indian burial ground. So they're saying it's the blood of the Indians that were killed in the making of it, because they're getting back on them. But flats must be kept open at all times. Thought you'd be on a hill. Not tonight, Mike. Not tonight. One night is enough. That was scary dairy. Although I am tempted by the Blair Witch in the Woods one, but we'll see. It was, yes, this one does feature the making of The Shining, which is a special feature for VHS. The moon landing references in the film. Yeah, that was the other one for that documentary. Where, because Danny wears an Apollo 11 shirt that when he stands up, it looks like it's lifting off, and that's Kubrick's subtle hint of saying he faked the moon landings for NASA. But I think it would have come out by now if he had. But I do have your Psycho. You can't see it. It's on the big silver box on the left of the screen. The Psycho 2 Blu-ray ready to go to be played on that little screen tomorrow night. Pipes loved a glory hole, and Sarah Green got sucked off at the end. Always comes back to Ghostwatch, doesn't it? Yeah, here's Jack. And people said he was nutty from the beginning. But people said, yeah, he's also been in the car. Now, they're driving, was it a little Volkswagen Beetle? So remember that. It'll be important later. First saw this on Channel 4 in the late 90s on a double bill with One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It might have been when I first saw it, because there's a lot of slow fades into this, isn't there? And apparently, someone's even, I think it's probably the extended version, or the US cut, played the film backwards and then superimposed the film on the other side in reverse. And then they meet up at a particular point in the middle, and right there it is. If you're watching at home, they have about 20 bags and his big wheels in the background. So somehow they got all that in that little Volkswagen Beetle. But yeah, people have made a big thing about he's reading a Playgirl magazine, which features an article on I can't say it, INCEST, and it does also feature about Stanley Kubrick's 2001. But some people have said it's a joke that someone left it there and they just used it as a magazine as a reference without even looking at it. Don't think any Kubrick film ever bothered the BBC. They probably didn't dare to touch them. Well, what about Clockwork Orange, which was banned in the UK until 2000? Although that, well, yes, I see. It wasn't BBC that banned that, was it? It was Kubrick himself. So I'm making a fool of myself. Although, there's the games room. What do we got? We got billiards. Oh, sorry, pool. Darts. Now, the other thing, you said it's not a skiing resort because they can't get up there in the winter. But all over the place, there's skiing posters. And there's the twins. The music. Can we play the music? I don't think you can hear it. No, because it's not sat to my headphones. Right. Where are my headphones? There we go. Next time they turn up. But yes, I think the twins are still with us, bless them, because they were young when this came out. But and ever and ever. Oh, I actually paused it instead of played it. Right. think it was hosted by Mark Commode. That makes sense. He did a lot of TV before he was famous. So yeah, this is odd that if you've ever seen the documentary, it's all about the locations. Like if they go down a corridor, some of the corridors rooms have doors, but then behind them is like a stairwell going down, so there couldn't possibly be a room there and all this nonsense. So yeah, construction started in 1907. It was finished in 1909. So yeah, this is a real hotel, and it's the whole Shining story for Stephen King came about because he was staying in a hotel that was actually closing for the winter, and they were the last two out on the last day, and he was wandering around the whole place that was empty. Hello there, Alex. Even Jack Nicklaus said Kubrick was a tyrant towards Duval. Yes, apparently he kept telling, I think it might be on the documentary on the making of here, but he tells everyone not to be nice to her because he wants the performance of her. But poor woman. Yeah, Jack Nicholson, the cheese sandwich rumor, he says isn't true, but I don't know. It's not been proved, I think. But he does go through 60 doors later. Hong Kong Fooey. But yes, of course, after this, she was, well, even Scatman Crothers, he had, when he sits down with Danny later on, that he says that took 100 takes. And he went straight from this film doing 100 takes to Clint Eastwood's, what was it called? I was going to say Buckaroo Banzai, but it's not. It's, the one where the westerns in a circus, but yeah. And then Clint did one take, and then so that was it. And then Scatman Crothers started crying because he was so happy. Bless him. Why do you call him Duck? I don't. Yeah. How did you know that? There are those are the restored and remastered editions from 2001, about the same time as The Clockwork Orange, which came out on VHS rental in the UK for the first time. Yeah. So I've got a Dutch version of Clockwork Orange. Not like I think it plays all right. I think it's PAL. And then I've got an official release after that. Right. Screen Factory finally put out the Faculty on 4K. Oh, there you go. The Gift and everything. Yeah, some of these, I don't understand why the Gift would need a 4K. I was a perfectly innocent 11-year-old when Ghost watched Screen. Yeah, didn't know it was what a glory hole was. There you go. Rice Krispies oatmeal. Texans. There's all this cornflakes. I think the documentary points out that right now there's a Native American headdress on a baking powder thing, and then there's supposed to be a reference to the slaughter. My first experience was a rental from my local smelly video shop. Yes. Was that your first experience of a glory hole, Michael? Stephen King, he hates, he does. He has warmed to this film, but he still says it wasn't a patch. But then his version in 97 is not good. Yeah. Yes, they cut out the hospital scene. I did see the nurse is in the credits, but the nurse scene is cut out. Could never get into Cuckoo's Nest. Didn't like it much. Yeah, it's not one. I watched it a couple of times, but that's enough. It's no critical condition, that's for sure. Betamax was a good education about 70s films. Yeah, so lots of long fades and these lovely sets because it looks absolutely real. And apparently they used lots of real stuff from real hotels to make it look nice. David Hughes, one of Kubrick's biographers, Stephen King wrote an entire draft of the screenplay for The Shining. However, Kubrick didn't even deem it worth a glance. That's typical Kubrick. Yeah, he binned Stephen's first draft because Stephen King had it in his contract that he gets to write a draft. But yeah, it was totally binned because there's a lot of stuff in the book that's different in this because spoilers in the book. The place blows up at the end because for some reason they have these boilers, 2 boilers, and they have to be drained every day, every 24 hours. And if you don't do it, the place explodes. So sounds risky. Imagine being a kid and hearing of the game and you find out it's just bullshit. Hey, that was amazing back in 1979 when this was made because it was supposed to be a 15-week shoot, and I think it ended up nearly a year, as they said, of all the stuff. So not everyone was involved at this everything, but it held up for ages. The Lost Ark being filmed at Elstree, and another film, I forget what it is. Bronco Billy, that was a film I was thinking of. I felt bad for Shelley Duvall. Yeah, she did not hold. Yeah, she did not. He was yelling at her, but he's known to be a man, was he, Kubrick? Well, yes, that is true. There's been so many adaptations. I'm just halfway through the new Salem's Lot downstairs, so I'll carry on with that after. It's all right. If you haven't seen it, it's rushes through. You don't get to know anyone because by the time you get to the halfway mark in the wherever it is, the normal version, the old 79 version, it's just 40 minutes in. Arrow Demolition Man, yeah, that probably looked good on 4K. Freezer scene was meant to be hungry. Yeah, there's so much food. You go, well, I fancy some Rice Krispies or some Frosties. All right, ice cream. But yeah, that hairstyle is definitely one I didn't think. Yes, he didn't like her one. I don't think he wanted her, but for some reason he got her, and I don't know. It's all very, I guess, because it's 45 years ago now they made this. It's tricky to know what's happening. Because you're trying to get this performance of her, because I think the baseball bat on the stairs is it's supposed to have a Guinness World Records for the amount of takes it took, over 100, but then people that were there say it didn't. It was like 30 to 40. That's a lot. While we're there chatting, so yeah, this is the scene that Scatman Crothers had to do 100 times. We'll add this to the stage, or we'll see what's happening in the garden. Nothing yet, so we will be on guard. I will try and I can see a thumbnail of it, so if there's any movement, I'll let you know. And the Scat Man, yeah, every time I think of it, beep, bap, 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 is either that or that's usually from what's it called? Basketball when that plays. Hang on, turn this off. After 20 minutes, I have to keep it dry. Day unbanned and released coverage in the UK. Yes, it's pretty much the same day, wasn't it? Kubrick's last film, Eyes Wide Shut, caused the breakup of Tom Cruise and Nicole Kidman. Yes, it did. That one lasted nearly 2 years to make that film, and allegedly Kubrick said privately to someone that he didn't think was a very good film. Now, there's a story of, what was it? Yeah, when Blade Runner came out, and Ridley Scott, no, who was it? There's another director in the early 80s. I think it might have been Ridley Scott when he came to see Kubrick. Or someone, I can't remember now. A director that you wouldn't know if I could remember. Came to visit Kubrick for one reason. It was like 5 years after this. And he was allowed to meet him, and then he came up, and then Kubrick was still editing this film. And apparently Tom Cruise says when they were making Eyes Wide Shut, which is nearly 20 years later, he was still editing this film. That's a project. It's a classic. Always like that film. I don't know. It's very watchable. But then you think, well, what am I watching this for? All right, 1 month later. It's a gorgeous set. There's not much outside stuff in this film because the whole winter maze thing later on is all fake. Spoilers. Wonder if those tubs of ketchup are like dodgy pink powder from Al Bundy when he works in the Burger Joint. Yeah, using a boat oar to stir it. Well, apparently people complain because we're a month in, and yeah, so he has runny eggs, sunny side up for breakfast, and a glass of milk or something seen later. And apparently people said, well, they're in the middle of nowhere. They're not getting deliveries. Everything is frozen or tinned. Where have they got fresh eggs and milk from? So there you go. Well, you can't, like, all this darting around using the Steadicam, which just come out. They just got to play with it. And because all it's allegedly set up, all these fake doors and impossible routes and everything is supposed to make you feel uneasy. Same with the score, and because your mind's supposed to know that's not right. Because yeah, like their room goes into there, but then it couldn't possibly have a window outside. Well, I still like Disney Paramount film Popeye. If anything needs a 4K, it's Popeye. That would Very colourful and gorgeous fucking film. I haven't seen it for years. I don't remember Dragon Slayer, but I imagine any fantasy film. So yeah, then we get the view of him in bed, and that T-shirt he's wearing is the school he was sacked from because he got violent with one of the students. But that's only in the book. And then a book, the manager of the Overlook didn't like him, and Jack was only hired by the higher ups. And they never got on. Is there any kids Kingston doesn't have a psychic kid? Yes, or a writer. But yeah, Jack Nicholson apparently, because he has done some writing before this and everything, so he did use some of that for this, like when she says it's just a matter of setting into a habit of writing every day. Yeah, that's all it is. So yeah, he's eating crispy bacon, and then people have said, well, there's a Narzai reference with the typewriter. Apparently, it's the same one the Narzai's used or something, and then it starts off as a white typewriter and then turns into a blue one and then a brown one, and then yeah, there's a shot here with the ball. No, oh, there you go. So the maze. Here we go. The mom's chasing the child into the maze, and of course later the dad does it. But then that's the same tennis ball that crawls up to the kid later on, which is supposed to say it's the dad's doing, but here we go. Eyes Wide Shut. It had Nicole Kidman in it back when she was hot. She was very skinny, but yeah, she was hot. Although it looks like because if you want to see her properly, it's dead calm. Before when she looked like a real woman. But yeah, you see all of her in, of course, Eyes Wide Shut. How many Kubrick films have you seen, Myers? Seen? Oh, I didn't. Only 5 or 6. Yeah, I don't think I've seen them all. Full Metal Jacket, The Shining, Eyes Wide Shut, 2001. I don't think I've seen Barry Lyndon. Clock of Orange I've seen. Because, yeah, he didn't make very much. AI, I guess, half technically works out. Right, here, I need to pay attention here because, yeah, there's a doll right there, apparently on the floor, that's the exact spot where Scatman Crothers dies. Then this is the maze scene, which was so Danny and Shelley are in a car park, and then they've just superimposed this map. And I forgot to mention in the interview earlier on, he has a green tie on, which is shaped with the pattern of the maze, like that. I wouldn't want to be Stephen King with Kubrick director. I understand where King was coming from in places, but the film is relentless and physically cold. It's like most of Kubrick's film output. But it is fascinating to watch. I usually watch Eyes Wide Shut around Christmas. Yes, it is definitely a Christmas film. But it's the piano ding that annoys me. Moulin Rouge, yes. Tom Cruise has become king of the sequels. Yes, he has. He's doing quite well. He's doing quite well with sequels. Maybe we'll get our look at that sci-fi time travel one. Live, Die, Repeat. But that's just the tagline that everyone calls the film's name. But here we go, and I love that carpet. That's as it is. This background is my background on my phone for the last 10 years. But yeah, so of course in the book I think it's room 217, but then they asked them to change it for the film because there is an actual room 217 in the hotel, and they didn't want people being scared, despite the fact most people would want to stay there if they found out. But yeah, that big wheel looks like fun. Might have some gross cans of milk, but yeah, where the hell are those eggs coming from after a month? Exactly. Some person said you can freeze an egg if you separate it. So yeah. What do you think of Spielberg's take? Oh yes, it was only until earlier. I remembered it was in Ready Player One. Yes. I do enjoy Ready Player One. I thought I didn't like it. I wouldn't like it when I first saw it, but I did really enjoy it. Eyes Wide Shut and Days of Thunder, the only... Oh, and Rain Man. The only films I can tolerate, man. I used to hate him or not be any interested in any of his films until I saw The Firm, and then I appreciated him. I do like the Mission Impossibles. And of course, Top Gun Maverick. I can watch that anytime. Even though in Rain Man, he's a bit of a tool for most of it. Yeah, he does come around. Yeah, those twins, because they do look slightly different. But yeah, they do conventions and stuff. But I should imagine because they have what, 2 or 3 scenes. One of them is them lying on the floor dead. But yeah, this place looks amazing. Now, yeah, so when they first walked in there, when they arrived, of course, they walked past the photo that will be appearing at the end. And that photo is a real photo, apart from Jack Nicholson's face. Because there's some people that said that the pose he's doing, he's got one arm up and one arm down, which is a devil's worshipping pose or something, or the pose of the devil in books. But then it's not. It's just an old photo they found and superimposed Jack Nicholson's face on it. I think it's still in the Kubrick Museum or wherever his stuff is, but the face is peeling off now. So there you go. Lots of references. Red Cell is number 237 in Shawshank. This is in my top 5. Exodus, Shine, American Way of London, North by Northwest, Labyrinth. Not the best films ever, but enduring favorites. Indeed, that's more important than. That's why my top 15 70s horror movies was not all the ones you'd expect. I did watch my 2 Kolchak films today, Night Stalker and Night Strangler. Always enjoy them. Only an hour and 20 minutes. Oh yeah, here we go. So yeah, this is the bit where Jack Nicholson uses frustration because his girlfriend's always bothering him when he was writing. And yeah, there's a different typewriter. He's got a massive brown thing now. But apparently you're not supposed to like Shelley Duvall's character for most of this film on purpose. Done that. Yeah, probably had a nervous breakdown after working with Kubrick. Yes. Although he was very kind to the kids. He used to... Yes, good selection. He used to be, especially Danny, he used to play with him. And but then, is there Tony Burton's in this? He's in the extended cut, the trainer from Rocky. But where is he? He's the car rental guy, I think, that Scatman phones and gets some help. But apparently Kubrick found out that Tony Burton's a chess player. So I think they lost it. He's filming because Kubrick wanted to play chess with him. And apparently Tony only won 1 game. And Kubrick said he was one of the best players he's ever played against. So, and then another time, it would have been in early July, because we know that Jack Nicholson's a big sports fan. So he had Wimbledon was on down the road. So he took 2 days off, and then he feigned an injury, told Kubrick he needed 2 days off to go and recuperate. And then Kubrick saw him on the telly with a girl on either side sitting and watching Wimbledon, and got very angry. Is Shelley Duvall related to Robert Duvall? Good question. Anyone know? I did not think of that. Yeah, here we get the pose. There. I wonder if I should swap cameras. Nah, it might get me in more trouble if it's a good picture. The disappearing chair. Yeah, disappearing chair behind Jack. People say it's deliberate for some reason. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that moves around in backgrounds. That, because Kubrick is known for his being an attention to detail. When it's not happening, it means it was on purpose. So yeah, there's a chair goes missing in that scene. An odd selection. We're all a bit odd here. No graveyard tonight, no, Sean. Nice and warm inside. It's going to be a while. I think that's the definitely the last outside of the year. I won't forget the laptop again. No, it's safely. It's right here while playing the film. So I was so pissed off with myself when I left it. Luckily, I went straight back, so it was only there for about 15 minutes on its own. But especially but climbing that hill again. But it was a lot darker the second time I climbed it, and then going back down, there's no proper path. It's just wet, slippery grass and some stones. Woof. No shame in saying Labyrinth. It's probably my top 5 too. You remind me of the babe. Right, what's happening? So yeah, what is it? Psycho 2 tomorrow, should I? Yes, don't forget that. Was that the bear going down on the butler? Not yet. Later on, but welcome. It's the one thing everyone remembers about this film, isn't it? I do like the actor who plays Grady. He was in Clockwork Orange and a few Carry-Ons, I think. Okay, yes. He's the British major in Temple of Doom, sitting at the table with a sneak surprise. But he's done a few other things. I don't know. There's not many people in this film that are with us. Let's see what his name was. So Philip Stone was Grady. So yeah, he passed away in 2003. He's a Yorkshireman from Leeds. Yes, Clockwork Orange and Temple of Doom and Flash Gordon. He's the High Priest, people in the Flash Gordon. Done a lot of TV, Bruce Wendell Mysteries, Heartbeat, Touch of Frost, etc. in the UK. Chancer, Sickness and Health. Oh, here we go again. He's going around the circle. But yeah, those are the most notable things. The Medusa Touch. That should be on the list. That was one of my top 15. But where is he? Oh, Lucky Man, Carry On Inconvenience in Deleted Scenes, The Dad in Clockwork Orange, Carry On Loving. But yeah, Where Eagles Dare, lots and stuff. But there we go. The twins are back, and ever and ever. Yeah, 4 twins. They either look very different or they're just lit very different. It's hard to tell. Clockwork Orange is my favorite Kubrick film. There you go. Got the vinyl soundtrack to that. I need to give it a proper listen. Lloyd the Bartender, also Dr. Torrell. There he is. Sean knows the second Blade Runner reference in this film, or vice versa. Lloyd the Bartender, isn't it? So yeah, in the book, what's the name of the finger? Tony? I can't remember now. No, something like, whatever. Danny? No, that's the kid's name. Mr. Hat. He in the book, he's the future self of Danny, telling past self what to do. I think it's Karen Loving. I remember him from. I don't think I've ever seen Karen Loving. I need to try that one. Jack Nicholson was watching film Taylor versus John Lowe when he was filming Batman '89. There you go. See, always up to no good, because I think he had it in his contract that he had to be there for Lakers games, isn't he? Whenever he's in America. This is the weird scene where Jack Nicholson's supposed to be asleep, but he's not. And I think it was the director of photography on this. He was supposed to be only there for the 15 weeks originally, but then because it extended so much, he used to have to fly. I think he did 1 week on this and 1 week in America, but he had to fly like Concorde on a Sunday night to make it. The scene with the twins is annoyingly makes a twist. Yes, that's another thing. Shining is showing in Twister, isn't it? Twister and Ready Player One, I think. And of course, Spaced references a few jokes in there. Simpsons, of course, with the shinning. Yeah, and any deleted scenes, because I'm watching the 2-hour version. There's the 2.5-hour version, which is the standard on the Blu-ray now, and then the 4K. But yeah, all Extras have probably been destroyed since then. Clockwork is my fave too. Used to have a US copy of it back when you couldn't get it over here. There you go. Oh, hang on. We're just going back to the garden, and no, nothing's happening. Oh, no, it's the leaves. Right. We're on garden watch here. He was next to Anta, Philip Stone, the Grady. He's played a similar creepy character in A Touch of Frost as a child killer. There you go. Makes sense. My favorite Kubrick film, Path of Glory and Barry Lyndon. There you go. I'm trying to. Yeah, this might be mine. But I haven't seen Barry Lyndon. I have Paths of Glory to watch on my to-do list or to-watch list. John Alcott did Beastmaster. That's him. So Barry Lyndon in The Shining. It seems Alcott was pretty diverse. Yes, that's the thing about cinematographers. Fingers crossed. I'm getting Dean Cundy on to chat. He said yes. It's just a matter of timing because he's still working. But yeah, he's done Jurassic Park. He's done of course, Halloween, Psycho 2, and a lot of films in between. This is the old ultra-violence. I think 2001 is probably the best work in terms of cinema. I enjoyed The Shining the most, but Barry Lyndon is very underrated. Obviously, you need to check that one out. Could you play that US tape on a PAL VCR, Michael Myers? I keep meaning to test that. I think it comes up as black and white. When I remember testing a NTSC tape before, it comes up as a bad picture. On my one, anyway. I don't think any of mine are compatible. You have to get a professional one for that. Because physically they're the same tape, but whatever's on them is different. Right, I saw something then. That's just be the breeze. Yeah, a lot of you okay, yes, but we're fine. See, there you go. I think the older days they got wise to it. I might try it on my portable, see what that's like. But yeah, here we go. What's Danny wearing? It's the Mickey Mouse. So, some people are so pedantic. Right, there's a scene, I think later, when Danny and his mum are watching TV, and there's a cartoon playing, and then there's someone said that cartoon. It says Monday in the title card, and then it shows them watching TV, I think. And then someone said that show wouldn't be on a Monday. It was a Saturday morning cartoon. Oh, here's the famous scene that people. So, as you can see, the line is in front of the child. The ball rolls in the line, which took 50 takes for this ball to get perfect to Kubrick specifics, to roll right down the middle and stop in the right place. Wednesday. And then when the kid stands up, the line is behind him and the gap's in front of him. But obviously, that's one of the most obvious continuity things, but obviously it's on purpose. The Full Metal Jacket I've soft spot for because Vietnam War scenes were filmed near my school where I grew up, derelict gasworks in East London. Yeah, it's amazing to think. So yeah, there's the pink tennis ball that comes from nowhere. But it was the same one his dad was chucking around earlier. But yeah, he stood up and the rocket looks like it's taking off. But yeah, it always makes me laugh when they show Full Metal Jacket and it's filmed in the same locations almost as Death Wish 3. I think John Alcott's last cinematographer assignment was Roger Dalton's No Way Out with Kevin Costner. That is a good thriller, yes. Highly recommend. A good thriller. I remember kids at school speaking of going to try and sneak in and watch things being filmed. The moon landing video was a good one. So here we go. The door is open. Apparently, mirrors has a lot to do with this film. Everything's always in a mirror shot, usually to start with, and it flips. All right, here's the first and only time the boilers, which were a very big thing in the book, are referenced. Oh, I forgot to mention. I think it's when he was having a go at her for distracting him from his writing. There's a big book on the table with pictures in, and it's news clippings and everything about the hotel, which is in the book and in the TV series. And of course, I think it's a bigger thing in the book and TV shows because it's something he finds and helps him with the story he's writing, and it's the full history of the hotel. Doctor Strangelove, another one I need to see. Apparently, in the boiler room, I don't know how people spotted it. There's a photo of the twins. I think there's some nude photos of ladies cut from magazines as well. So we've got Jack's sleeping, or is he? I had some VHS tapes that wouldn't. Oh, the speed was fast and you couldn't hear the voices, but some are okay. Yeah, there you go. I guess it's depending on the film and how it's produced and what player you use. He's dribbling like a madman. This is the bit with the chair, isn't it? Because I think there's a chair behind him on the wall that keeps appearing, reappearing, a wooden chair. And then the earlier scene when he was being hassled about his writing, it appeared in the background, disappeared, but I never noticed these things. I'm obviously a bit thick. The VCRs that did play them usually made a big deal of it. Usually it said NTSC playback. Somewhere on the tape lap. Yeah, so I was looking at mine on the tape lap. What have I got? Video cassette recorder, so and so number. Digital logo. Don't see it. It might have been my other one I used for this, because I got one over there, and I had one before this, so I can't remember which one I tested it on. Didn't Nicholson write an entire scene in The Shining? I remember reading an article about Nicholson referring to it, but I can't remember what scene it was. That is ringing a bell, actually. But I can't remember which one it is. But here we go. Danny's turned up and he's damaged. But there is something special about Danny in the scene at the end. Can anyone tell me what it is when Shelley Duvall takes him away? Yes, I always try. I did try Video Plus, but it didn't work out because it never recorded enough at either side to pick up some TV shows because they're always late. So yeah, Danny's got marks on his neck, and his jumper's ripped. So that's been a bit rough. He's a dummy. It's a puppet. Yes, he is a dummy. All the times, even though I've seen that making of before, I've never noticed. So yeah, so that's because when it gets to the shouting scene, I didn't want Danny around, the real Danny. So I think Jack's expression there, huh? Yeah, there's the dummy. I think. Yeah, she picks it up. But yeah, no, that looks real. You did this to him. You son of a bitch. Huh? It's a very good dummy, if it is, because those hands look very real. Our VHS didn't have anything fancy like Video Plus. We had one with a remote on a wire. Yes, our first video player was a remote on a wire. You think it wasn't long enough for you to sit down and use. It was only about 5 feet or 6 feet, and our seats were further away from the telly than that. And then if you did use it, people would trip over the bastard. Right, here we go. The gold room. No, yeah, apparently Jack does this every time he passes a mirror. Like, he doesn't like something. And then, of course, there's a few fourth wall breaks in this film. There's the gold room. I matched the rug, yes, indeed. Cheeky git. So, yes, Al will be back for Salem's Lot later in this month. Some guy came up with Video Plus, probably invented self-service tills. I like self-service tills. Except when they have to wait for half an hour because you're buying a booze or something, or a pack of paracetamols. God, I give Anna. So yes, so she's. I think in the bit with the nurse, the health visits or whatever it is that visits in the extended cut, she mentions that Shelley Duvall mentions that Jack Nicholson's character has been sober. I think it's 3 years, but then here he mentions he hasn't had a drink in 5 months. So he's either been sneaking it or someone didn't read the script properly. Apparently, there was lots of rewrites on this, and Jack Nicholson got so fed up at them that he never, if a rewrite came into him, he would just bin it and not read it because he knew another rewrite would be along soon. There we go. Now, in Doctor Sleep, there's someone impersonating Jack Nicholson's character as the barman in this. When they come back to the overlook at the end. No TV and no beer make Homo go something something. Go crazy? Don't mind if I do. Was just trying a new stream service. I'm switching. Oh, yes. I saw you were testing. What was it called? EMV or something? Because, yeah, StreamYard are putting up their prices. So I'm going to stay with them until the end of the year because I've got so many things set up on them. I can't be bothered to change. But, yeah, I will look into something else. Never seen Lloyd in anything else. Well, never seen him unless he's got very thick glasses. I'm like, where is he? Yes, he's in Blade Runner. He's Turkle or whatever. The big glasses and bottles. But he has done some other stuff. He is Joe Turkle. He passed away in 2022 at 94. The Shining, The Blade Runner, Paths of Glory, and The Killing. He was episode of Miami Vice. That's recently. Tales of the Dark Side. He hasn't done much. Kojak, Fantasy Island, SWAT, The Hindenburg. Mostly old stuff. See if he's done a lot of TV shows and films. Bonanza, of course. The Andy Griffith. Well, yeah. Did a lot less in his old years. Yes. There you go. This is a great scene. Yes, this is it. So he's got 2 20s and a 10 in this, and then later on. Now, people have complained because he asked for a bourbon, and then he gets Jack Daniels, and people have said Jack Daniels is not a bourbon. It's a sipping whiskey or whatever it bloody is. And then he's venting. E.V. Mux. Now, is that free one? Dr. Torrell, that's him. Have you seen the TV remake? Yes. Twice now, I think. Once, I think, when it came out, and then a few years back, I did going through all the Tommy Knockers and Rose Red. I went through all the old mini-series. But yeah, nothing beats the Langoliers, of course. All I do is pull him up. Yes, it's not great. It sticks to the book because King wrote it, and was it Mick Garris directed it? It's got the because that's the one thing Kubrick changed at the ending. Because the ending, it's supposed to be the hedge monsters that come and get Jack, but they couldn't do that in the 1980 with special effects without it looking stupid. So Kubrick changed the ending. But yeah, and then people think the kid is annoying in that film. When I was reading John Baxter's unauthorized biog of Kubrick offered the role of Dick Halloran to Slim Pickens, but turned the role down because the stress. Yes, I did read that. The stress Kubrick put him under in Dr. Strangelove. Yes. Not many people worked again with Kubrick, did they? Are you out? Yeah, there's a woman in the building. She heard Danny. You fucking out of your mind. Oh, I feel the same way. There you go. JD tastes just like bourbon. Exactly. I think it's the same recipe, or it's the same flavoring, or something. But yeah, if they're not allowed to call it bourbon or something, I don't know. Jack Daniels is a breakfast aperitif in Scotland. Oh, I hope you're Scottish. Langoliers has fabulous FX. It's got wonderful acting. Oh, here we go. So there's the pornographic pictures that are of naked ladies. So yeah, as it hangs, when it pans out, there's a massive afro lady, just like the one in a Nordberg in Naked Gun 33.5 when he tries to get through the door. And then you got the other one behind him. But yeah, they were popular pictures at the time. Because yeah, he's in Florida and he's got to get across the country in a storm. Langley's special effects were made by Commodore Amiga, I think. That's probably true, actually. Can't stand the kid in the remake. Exactly. Poor man. But yeah, he was. It's not his fault. It's either the casting directors or the director giving him direction. I don't know if a good budget, because it's I think it's a very long 6 hours or something, isn't it? It's at least 2 or 3 parts, and it just drags and drags as they just go around their business of being in the hotel. What's Scatman doing? I want to watch the ball game in the World Series. Come on, raise a hand. I don't know. I've always wanted to go to see a baseball match, but I don't think I'd watch one on the telly. Swing, swing. But let's see what's happening in Garden Watch. Nothing. But it will be on the whole time for the Paranormal Activity, which I realized after my recent video buying physical media, I have now, these are my spares. I got 3 copies of Paranormal Activity on DVD and 2 copies of Paranormal Activity 2. So Mike's back. Where are we? 10 o'clock on a Friday. And Mike's in. Thought he'd be in the pub. But he is doing, worst rated horror films on this Sunday. I still can't believe that Lee Unrich runs the fan site for the Overlook Hotel Online. Who? Lee Ulrich? The Screen Guide or someone else? Am I misreading that? In case no one knows that line. Oh, it's from Ron Cookers. Of course. They want to watch the ball game. And then they all raise their hands. I think, isn't there someone in this from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? Oh, here we go. So, Naked Lady coming up. So, goodbye. Definitely have to remember this. So, there's 2 ladies that play the Naked Lady. Of course, there's the young one who was a model at the time. She came in to audition or be a part of the party scene in the Gold Room, but I think they noticed her because she was quite striking. And then, as a model, she had 0 problems being naked, and she was naked for a few weeks doing the scene in front of everyone, and she had no problems. And apparently, the dead woman that she turns into is supposed to be an ex guest at the hotel who was sleeping with all the bellboys or something, and then when she got jilted by one she actually liked, I think, or a man she liked, she done herself in the room. Right, where am I? I'm going too far. Talking over the hotel, Jay would have been perfect. Yes, Jay is now without internet. He's moving house, and he won't get broadband until a few weeks. But he's coming back to talk 80s music. I think we might do ballads to start with. Yeah, this is a very long news scene. Nicholas is here. Good evening. This was probably Jack's favorite scene to film. Yeah, a lot of a young model fully naked in front of him. What is it with these streams? 2 streams in a row where there's been full frontal female nudity for a long time. He said I was so busy watching my back yesterday, I thought to take it off. All right, so he's snogging her. And then, I don't know, what did he notice? Because is that? Yeah, it's a reflection in the mirror, of course. Yeah, she's all fat and rotten. I don't know which is the worst bit for him. She's rotten or she's fat. Then, yeah. Then we get her lying in the bath. Because there's a few more scenes that are in the extended cut. there's the skeletons. Oops. That Shelley Duvall's character sees as she goes running around the hotel at the end. I think she runs into a man that says "Great Party" or something, which is supposed to be the owner of the hotel from the 20s or whatever it was, because he has that line in the book. But this old crone is. I've had to pause it on her in the bath. Oof. My thoughts on with the ending. Well, because this film had a different an extra bit on the end in the original cut in the cinema. No, before the cinemas, they did screenings, and there was a bit where they escape in the snowcat. They end up in hospital, being looked after, and then the manager, who was earlier in the film, comes in, and then he says, "We've looked everywhere. We can't find Jack's body anywhere, or any evidence of what you said happened." And then he leaves, but then he throws Danny the ball that was being played with earlier and laughs at him. But it tested poorly, so Kubrick cut it out like a week before the film went to cinemas, and even some cinemas projectionists had to manually cut it out themselves because it had already been too late and they'd been shipped. I know everyone has their own thoughts on it, but yeah. I don't know. Would he? Because apparently the hotel is not after Jack; it's after Danny because of his powers, as you find out in the book and Doctor Sleep. But it's using Jack to get to him. But I don't mind the ending. It does happen a bit quick. I think you go chase him in the maze, and then Danny finds his way out, and they escape, and then leave him to freeze. But apparently the maze wasn't that big. It was cardboard boxes surrounded by chicken wire with branches stuck in it, and then foam covering it. And then it wasn't that big, but people still got lost. The people that worked on it. Oh, hang on. This it's not scaring. Oh, apparently Mike says it's not. Well, let's have a look at the. Bear with. Let's see what the poll says, Mike. So I asked, was she scared? The Halloween theme or the Halloween soundtrack, the first film, or this? Our survey says, if I'm still alive, it says, if it loads, it's, no. Halloween is winning 76%. Okay, fine. It was a bit different earlier. But apparently there's not much of the score used in this. Kubrick had a load of people, even John Williams, put in some score for this film, but it was rejected by Kubrick. And then most of the score is reduced to a few bits, like the bit at the beginning, do, 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 and later on. But the weird thing about the bathroom nude scene is it just doesn't feel sexy. It feels creepy, yes. It might be a very attractive naked lady, but you know something's up with it, I think. That's what makes it non-sexy. It just feels icky, yeah. It's a tough wank, I think everyone's trying to say. The music is way more creepy than Halloween. Oh, there you go. See, two different opinion. I was listening to the Halloween soundtrack earlier. Oh, there's the blood. And it does look like blood. A lot of blood. People say Jack is the ghost who escaped. Another is the picture in the end that his soul trapped in the hotel. That's another version I've heard, yes. Where, I forgot about that bit of the ending. It's because there's all these theories that he just keeps living the same life as the whatever, looking after the place, whatever his job is. But yeah, he just comes back when he's old enough, and I don't know, caretaker for the year. But they obviously need a caretaker every year, so and he's just reincarnated as this thing, and it's safe now to put the thing back on. So yeah, he He knocks all these things over. Then Jack Nicholson smiles, and then people said he realizes what he's supposed to be doing. He's enjoying himself too much. Then he gets serious. I think this movie and the book are two different things, really. So yes, I think concept Kubrick had for the stories here, but the different the meaning details of the novel. In my opinion, you're not wrong. Kubrick said he didn't like the book, but he liked the basis of the book, so he had no problem changing it. That was before the shinning. I love the shinning. Oh, what's happening? Ah, there's a party going on. Oh, so yeah, I don't because Halloran's a good day away by plane, car, and snowcat, but it's just the Tony Burton scene. He's phoning the police. But yeah, so we have still got 3 minutes to go. But I sip my beer currently. Hello, Alex. Good evening. Love this film. Yes, there's very few people that don't like this film. Is there anyone in the chat that doesn't like this film? What do you guys think of the ending? Your own version of it. Let's see what it says. Homer Simpson became the next one, indeed. I don't find the Halloween score creepy at all. It's a good piece of music, though. There you go. I'm a King fan, and even say this is better than the book. Oh, there you go. In the 90s, I went through a phase of Stephen King reading the books, watching all the films, but I never read The Shining or Carrie. No, maybe I did read Carrie, but I just don't remember it because I think the film was quite close there, isn't it? The book starts off great, then gets silly. Stephen King doesn't know how to end his films, you say? Right, so here we go. So apparently, here's the party. Yeah, there's Grady introducing him. Now, all the extras in this party were told they weren't allowed to talk. They have to pretend to talk and be silent. So they have to mime all this. So it's only the sound coming through. And then Jeevesy, and your money's no good here. Oh, well, I remember. Who lets him out of the freezer? Because so far, well, I guess the ghosts can do physical things. So Danny gets abused by the woman. So she touched him. So I'm guessing they can let him out of the freezer. Just picking a load of peanuts up. Oh, I thought The Shining was longer. Yes, The Shining is 2.5 hours, but we're watching the UK cut, which is only 2 hours. I'm halfway through the New Salem's Lot, and it's all right so far, but unfortunately, Mr. Stryker is not very interesting as James Mason. Yes, Maximum Overdrive watch along in a truck. I don't know. That would be tricky, but yeah, if I can hire a truck, I will. See, Ian loves the end of the film. The old song they play during the end is just wonderful. See? Oh. Gotta love Jack Nicholson's smile and eyebrows. Garden Watch and Kubrick. Perfect combination, VT. I thought so. Let's have a look. Anything in the garden. If anything pops up there, I'm going to make a mess. Kubrick always said he'd wish he'd done more films. He was going to work with Jack again on Napoleon. Oh, bloody hell. Oh, there you go. Avocat everywhere. Of all the things to spill on him. Sorry, I got plenty of jackets. Advocat, is it? So, yes. I'm going to drink my Advocat and bourbon. Oh, Lee Ulrich. Unrich. Unrich. Director Toy Story 3. Thank you. There's me of little knowledge. So, yeah, they got the fanciest toilets ever. Before the fish and goose soiree. Jeevesy. So yeah, so this is Delbert Grady. Charles Grady was mentioned at the beginning as the one that offed his family. So apparently there's all these images. So when you first meet characters, they're in one side, and then Kubrick flipped the angle, so they swap sides, which is apparently a no-no in the filmmaking world, as it confuses the people. I think Jack being let out of the freezer is one confirmation there is spooky power in the hotel, not just people going mad. Because yeah, that's the other thing. People saying, is it all in his mind? Is it all in their mind? Or is it actual ghosts? The bright red painted bathroom decor is such a vibe. Yes, it is. Look at that. It's a hell of a red room. I do love Jack Nicholson's reactions in this. Hey, Campbell's here. Oh, of course, it's the weekend, isn't it? I keep thinking it's a weekday. I love the Simpsons parody of this. Yeah, the shitting. You're trying to get sued. The one where they keep going back on the way to the home has forgotten to lock the back door, and where's Grandpa? And they just keep going anyway. Yeah. It's back when Simpsons was funny and clever. Because I used to watch The Simpsons all the time, and then I started not watching it, and then I started watching only the Treehouse of Horrors, and then I don't bother at all for the last 10 or more years now. It's just gone on too long. I don't know who's watching it, because I don't think kids today are watching it. But yes, apparently Jack Nicholson's jackets and clothes changed from green at the beginning to red at the end. When I first watched this, I got confused about who's in the picture at the end exactly. Even Kubrick doesn't know. It's one of the things he's like it says, he's the caretaker all along. So that was him back in the 20s, and now he gets reincarnated every so often to come back for some fucking reason. And then there's the other one that says his soul is in the picture, and it's just his body that's out here, and he's in purgatory, I think. Oh, there you go. Advertising other channels, Collective Learning, who does deep dives of the film. If you like an in-depth analysis, check him out. If you like countdowns of the worst films ever, Mike's your man, yes. Although I think Mike has done some deep dives of Halloween 6, wasn't it? Yeah, if you want to know what the worst films with lowest scores on IMDb, check out Mike on Sunday night. Green and Red, just like the Joker, yes. Who's excited for Joker 2? I wasn't much of a fan of the first one, but I've watched it twice and I've had enough, but I don't think I'm going to bother with the second. Right. Any activity in the garden? Nope. We're safe for now. Maybe Misty Fox will turn up. No. You've always been the caretaker, sir. But yes, there's a few N-words dropped now. An outside party is on its way. Jack Nicholson looking very confused. I saw the trailer for the remake of the 1979 Salem's Lot, and I had to turn up the contrast on the TV. It's very symptomatic of today's highly dark films, and you can't see what's going on. Yes, I'm halfway through it myself, because the scene where the little brother comes back for the big brother as a vampire, it's very modern, very digitally bright in that bit. But then you can't see what's going on in the background. It's like only the foreground's lit up, and then very shiny, and then very well lit, apart from the bit you need to see. But we shall see if it's just okay. Because I finished making it in 2019, and they just shelved it until now. I know it's the perfect month. The survivor of the family, Danny and his mother, hopefully get some pay after the time Jack was employed. Good point, Campbell. They were there for at least a month and a bit. Although whether he signed the contract that said if they leave early, they don't get a penny. A very willful boy, a rather naughty boy, if I may be so bold, sir. Jack's thinking. Oh. Interferes. Perhaps they need a good talking to. The new VHS movie drops soon. I don't think I've ever seen a VHS movie. I know that sounds terrible, but I might have seen the first one way back when. But I have heard they're very hit and miss. One of them actually stole a pack of matches and tried to burn it down. So yeah, that was the biggest thing about Doctor Sleep. It had to combine the book and the film of The Shining and make it make sense, which it does. Because in of course, the book and TV version, the hotel blows up. But in this, it does not. It just gets left up and behind. Oh, they are hit and miss. Well, it's nice that they're all different directors, I guess. Just remind me. Where is it? A delivery today. Of Theatre of Blood. Right. So hopefully, well, even if there's not time in October, I can do it in another month. It doesn't have to be horror, because I was hoping to get Repossessed done too. But time is almost up. There you go. There's Halloran on the plane. So apparently, yeah, when the plane, he asked what time it is. It's 1 o'clock, and then he asked what time the plane landing. It's 1:20, and then yeah, so he's on the plane. Then it cuts to him driving, which it obviously is. There's a bigger gap in the thing. People said the plane's in blue skies and sunny when he lands, or when he gets near, 20 minutes away, and then he's stuck in snowdrifts. The bear fella hasn't been in it. Everyone remembers the bear fella. Oh, I was ready to hate the new Salem Lot, but in fact, this is coming to the cinema, and the trailer makes me willing to give it a chance. I think we'll beat the 79 James Mason version, of course. Yes, they keep trying. Well, here's the baseball bat scene. It's the shitty hotel industry that pay accommodation at 50% and 0 hours beyond that. Exactly. Corrected him. Was there a reason they couldn't incorporate the hedge maze creatures? Was it just too expensive time? Yeah. Kubrick said it wouldn't have been, they couldn't get it to work, basically. Right. So here we go. I think it took 8 months or something, 7 months I think it was like Stanley Kubrick's assistants to write all these pages of all work and no play. So they had to be typed out by hand. Now, I'm not sure, because Kubrick, for the foreign language versions, what did he do? He cast and auditioned the people that would do the foreign language versions of the film, the audio and the talking. But I don't know if they didn't mention if they changed the writing on the thing. Probably not bothered, but when you hear Jack Nicholson typing throughout the film, he is typing to the rhythm of all work and no play, so the keys are set to sound right. So did this film reveal the moon landing was fake? It did. Did you not get it, Mike? You're too stupid. It's bloody obvious. Yeah, the only way to do it would have been to stop motion animation back then, and it would have looked janky, goofy, unintentional, funny. That is exactly it. Yeah, and you're better than I am with explaining things. But there we go. All work and no play, and then that's all he's been writing. Oh, he's got some spelling mistakes though. Right. Well, yeah, you would be shocked if. But yeah, trees coming to life back in 1980 was not a thing. It's like, what was it, Howling? They used animation for some of the werewolves, didn't they? Hang on, come on. Stupid VHS being very fast. But yeah, it would have been stop motion, and then it just wouldn't look right, would it? Having Although it doesn't look right in the TV series version, does it? To be fair. Because how many King books or films have been remade? Salem's Lot's been remade twice. The Stand's been made into a terrible TV series a few years ago. That's sequel. I think now. Is there any others? Carrie has had a sequel, a TV movie, and then a remake. What else is there? Oh, all my Stephen King's are upstairs. So I think now. If any others have been remade. I'm thinking Cujo, but I don't think that has it? Maximum Overdrive was turned in remade as Trucks in the 90s to be more faithful. Got nothing here to remind me. Shawshank, no. Needful Things, no. Cocky Jack Nicholson now. She does look like she's just going to fall apart because this is one of the scenes. Apparently, the amount of steps she takes for the reshoot, she could have walked up the Empire State Building. Misery. Just hope some dumbass doesn't come along and blow it. Yes. I think that was a stage show. Who's in the stage show? What was that noise? Typical. No hedgehogs, no foxes, no cats even. She says she should have said sarcastically, this is going to make a bestseller list, is it? Get your fucking act together. Yeah, we're not going to be able to live on selling this. Oh, Danny's confused. Now he's seeing the blood. That's odd. I thought the blood usually gets off on the third floor. Stephen King will end up being a sapple when he dies, do you think? I don't think he had that much involvement with people, did he? I think we have some definite ideas of what should be done with Danny. But yes, people said Jack Nicholson was overreacting. But then people said that he was doing so many takes that he'd start off being normal, then he'd go into over the top, and then because he'd gone on so long, it would end up what we got. And then apparently there was like they'd film a scene, and Jack said that was pretty good. That was good, wasn't it? Cute Stanley, and then Kubrick said, "Yes, it was. Let's do another." She had to, because she was crying so much off screen. Shelley Duvall just had to get drinking loads to keep herself hydrated. Poor love. Here we go. Oh, still got over half an hour to go with this. And this is the short version, so we'd have another hour if I done the long version. Thought about my responsibilities. Has it ever occurred to you that I have agreed to look after the until May 1st? I didn't realize that. So that's, what was it, October? So 6 months, isn't it? But that's a hell of a long time. It might be nice for a month or so to be out there on your own, but then the snow's too much, and then you can't even enjoy the grounds or the mountains. Right, here we go. She starts swinging. Stay away from me. See, there's another series, Terrifier, that I'm not that bothered about. I've seen the first two once. The second one's all right, but I'm not that excited. And I've got all the usual promotions that people are passing out or throwing up in the first 10 minutes of Terrifier 3. And then Luckily, I don't know, was it Sean that said yesterday that he went to see it and there were very young kids crying in it because they were so traumatized, but the parents wouldn't go take them out. But now I think some cinemas have put in a thing that no kids can come in, despite the fact it's a, what is it, NC-17 or whatever it is. Well, R-rated or something, whatever, isn't it? When kids can go in just as they're with their parents. But then they did the same with Saw 3, I think. Did you ever see Robert Altman's Brewster McCloud dance with Bud Cort and Dear Shelley Duvall? Doesn't ring a bell. Brewster McCloud? No, doesn't ring a bell at all. Is it a 70s one or earlier? There you go. Give me the bat. Give me the bat. Give me the bat. Yeah. She's swinging. Stop swinging the bat. Someone, why don't you take a hint? She hits him in the wrist. Bump. He's down. Look who that stuntman is. Yeah, unrated. Yeah, it's whatever kids are allowed to see it if their parents allow them. And then stupid parents are taking their kids so they can see it. It's like those Scousers that where the single mum goes on holiday for 2 weeks in Marbella with their new boyfriend and leaves the kids home alone. But when I saw that, I think I couldn't see the list of in the credits when it rolls. Because it's only got a cast list of 49, which is quite low. All right, it's got one stuntman registered. Yeah, Jack Cooper, who is no longer with us, but he has done Willow, The Long Good Friday, Superman 2, Top Secret. So yeah, British lad. Death Wish 3, Beautiful Kill, Water, Curse the Pink Panther, Kroll, Time Bandits, Superman 2. But yeah. That's a shame. I guess it's probably him that fell down the stairs because I think that's the only stunt. People said that when the boxes fall on Jackie, they're empty. Well, yes, they can't have cans of cornflakes and stuff. Boxes. Oh yeah, there is. The boxes fall. Yeah, and they've got nothing in them. Poor Shelley Duvall. You got little pigs, little pig. No, not Leia. So yeah, if you saw the making of, Kubrick's lying on the floor with the camera pointing up at Jack, bashing on the door. Here goes. He starts thinking, Wendy, baby. I think you hurt my head real bad. I do like Doctor Sleep, but I don't like to watch Doctor Sleep because of the baseball kid scene. It's like same with Pet Sematary. I can't watch the original. Pet Sematary. There's another one that got a remake. I can't watch the original Pet Sematary anymore because. Oh, let's have a look. Nope. Nothing in the garden tonight. I'm gonna try. Get Danny down in the sidewinder. Oh no, you're not, because he broke it. Or some scallies have been in and stolen all the parts from it. Yeah, so he smashed the radio. He smashed the Snowcat. The behind-the-scenes documentary of this film is wonderful. Yes, the amount of effort to make this film, because this whole set, for one, just building it, and then this outside bit. Now, this is the bit I don't understand. It's, as far as I can tell, this outside bit is all fake. As far as I can tell, does anyone know any better. But when it shows in the making of, yeah, then it cuts this. Is that real? It's hard to tell. Because one minute it looks fake when she opens the door, but then it has a massive area, and I think it's still too big to fit in that. Because they said when they filmed inside, to have the lights outside, everyone was really hot. (1970) film. Okay, interesting film to do with wacky and serious with wings. Okay, Nos is here. Good evening, Nos. Was it an actual hotel? The outside bit. I suppose that in the beginning of the film, it's definitely a real place where they filmed, and then I think that's a model. What's on screen now by the look. So, bags of salties lying on. Robert Altman's films were wonderful. I did see Shortcuts in the cinema, and The Player. I can't remember. I didn't see Pret-a-Porter. Have you seen Brewster's, Ian? But I don't think. Of course, Altman did Popeye, didn't he? It's Grady, Mr. Torrance. Delbert Grady. Yeah, so he's been eating crackers, peanut butter, peanuts, and Oreos. So then he's had a nap. Ketchup, lots of ketchup. Catsup, and tomato puree, mellow roast, tomato ketchup in a tin, tomato ketchup in a jug. So how are they going to get him out? I'm pretty sure the Overlook is a real hotel. Yeah. The original, the opening in the daytime. Well, the opening when they're wandering outside is a real hotel, and it's called. Because I forgot to look it up earlier. I think is it called? What is the name of the actor who played the man in the bear costume? Is a question. Right, so the filming locations is the Timberline Lodge, which is the exterior in Oregon. Then the opening shots where they're driving up is the Going to the Sun Road in Glacier National Park. Then L Street is where they filmed the inside. Colorado is where they filmed the family apartment outside. London Stansted was stood in for Denver. Pickup shot for Lloyd's Bar was in Los Angeles. Right, Goldroom. Exterior, right, so backlot of L Street was the Overlook Hotel and Maze. So yeah, it was. They just made it look like the outside when it was all snowy. Saying hello. I've seen it. I have seen it. My favorite Altman's, although not his best movies. Gossip Park. I do like Gossip Park. That's a good point. I do like that one. That's an all-star cast. Of Upstairs and Downstairs. Oh, Nashville, of course. I haven't seen Nashville for a very long time. Wasn't there a sequel to Nashville? Or is that something else? Yes. Why did Kubrick not want to return to the US? Good question, Mike. Why was it? Because I know he didn't like to fly, which is why he didn't film Full Metal Jacket in other countries. I think. Oh, here we go. So this is the only actual bit of footage in snow. In real snow, I should say. This wasn't faked, apparently. This is a real cat going down a real snow. Yeah, Halloran gets here a lot quicker than he does in the extended version. So a lot of stuff that was cut out. Just got back from Joker the Musical. Oh, dear. Commode liked it. Mostly. Although it was hard to tell. He said good things and bad things. Who's blowing up my phone? Right, so yeah, here we go. Apparently, the UK's going to get snow in areas, and it usually just means the very tippy top of Scotland's mountains. Red ram! Red ram! Yeah, this is a very flush. Look at this. They've got a TV in their bedroom and in the lounge. So yeah, she's gone to bed. He picks up the knife. I guess to make you think he's going to kill her. Now they get him to write red rum on the door. I don't know if he was supposed to write one word, a couple of letters the right way round. He didn't like flying. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the only thing I heard is he didn't like flying. I guess he could have cruised if he. But yeah, that's the only thing I knew. I didn't know if there was a what's his name, Polanski reason. I've never heard, and I think legally why he couldn't do it. Ow. So yeah, he's got the knife. I guess that looks like a fake knife because he's a kid. They didn't want to hurt himself. And he's got his lipstick out. What is in that room? Because if they had about 20 bags at the beginning. Red rum, red rum. Oh, there's a bit of score. Why he couldn't just say murder, I don't know. Oh, yes, that's another good one. Yes, any good. Did anyone like Joker 2? Plus, Kubrick had numerous death threats, including Harry. Yes, I remember. He was an odd lad who got himself in trouble a lot with stuff he did and said, but yeah. Oh, damn. Oh, yeah, see. Quick zoom. And then, yeah, Jack Nicholson's outside. So Jack Nicholson used to be a fire marshal. So he knew how to break down a door because the art department had made this door for him to axe down. But he was so good at axing doors that he just took it down a second so to build tougher doors for him to get through because he has to get through 2 or 3 doors here. Plus, I think they said he went through 60 doors in the end. So yeah, every film these days is a bloody Marmite film. I don't know why I can't make films everyone likes. But it's definitely not going to make $1 billion like the last one. I think it had a budget of 200 million or something stupid. I think he built up such a huge archive library of material stuff hoarding in his UK home. He couldn't have it transported back to the USA if he wanted to. That sounds exactly like what people say about him. There you go. No sliding down. You can't just unbreach the woke mob. I think. Has there been a film this year that's done that? That isn't Marvel or Star Wars? All right, here we go. Come out, wherever you are. Little pigs, little pigs. Now, could she have smashed that window to get out of it? I do love the expression on his face when she slashes him across the hands. Joker 1 is superior, but 2 will find its audience. It just won't be a well-paying audience, I guess. Top Gun Maverick was proof, yes. Oh, that was an awesome film. But then here he goes. So yeah, and then when he uses, I think it's the rubber axe when he kills. Spoilers. Scatman Crothers later. There, he had to fake the because he'd knocked this door in so many times. He knew the rubber axe was a different weight, so we had to make it look convincing. Lee was a great movie, but Terrifier 1 and 2 were fantastic. Lee? What is this Lee film? Oh, no, please, please. The fact they had to make doors for this film. So many. Oh, here he comes to save the day. Poor Scatman Brothers. I bought that old Tashin book, Stanley Kubrick archive, and it has a little bit of 70mm film strip. But actual physical strip. Oh, nice. Back to the garden. Let's have a look. Nothing in the garden. Ah, Lee was about Wolf photographer Lee. Okay. I did not know that. But, right, here we go. We're in the home stretch. 18 minutes. You think this is quite the end, but... So, yes, he hears the snowcat coming up. Why doesn't... People said, why don't they use the shine? So Danny knows Scatman's there, and Scatman knows Danny's there, and they can meet up safely. And people said that Steven Spielberg stole all this idea for Jurassic Park with the being hunted in the kitchen and hiding in a metal cabinet. Danny. Yeah, a couple of cut films of film strip that they cut out and put into each book in the first printing. That's nice. I know they probably had lots of them, but still having one of them is nice because I've got a Die Hard. I think it's the first Die Hard film selling one box set and another film. I can't remember what it is. I don't know. Was it a Bond film? I can't remember now. Might be up there actually. Don't think it was Kevin and Perry. Saving Private Ryan, I think it is. I think that's got a film cell in it. Oh. Tracking, quick. Stupid VHS. For a war film, you see plenty of tits, including Kate Winslet's. Sold. War is hell. Unless there's tits. But yes, look at this. I wonder what they do with all these furniture and pictures. Now, this VHS is very bright compared to whatever the size I'm watching. Here's Welcome Pappy. I just love Shelley Duvall running and it falls out of her nipple. Look like Overlook Hotel caramels. Do they now? I must have missed that bit. Some noise. After last night, I'm paranoid about every noise. Not in the garden. Have you seen... No, I haven't seen Barry Lyndon. I still need to see some of the supplemental material on the Criterion Blu-ray release. Brilliant transfer, though. Now, is that the one during the war? One of the old wars. So, yeah, there he is. He gets right to his cue. Steps on the line. Yep. Whack. Jack's pushing it all the way in. But he should have gone for the head. See, I didn't see it. People said that the blood spurts out before the axe hits, but I didn't see it. But yeah, all that, and then he's down and dead. But apparently, I think it's when Shelley Duvall sees him, just before the camera comes off him or the shot changes, he one eye blinks or something. The old limping. Now, how many floors is it? It's got three floors there, so there must be more. I think the outside had 3 or 4 floors, but I think this might be the only bit of the set with more floors. Yeah. But yeah, that knife doesn't look real. Oh, there's the bear. Yeah, so his ass is hanging out, and then he's obviously doing something with a gentleman, but then he's wearing this fucking mask that doesn't seem to have a hole in it. And who is the gentleman? I think it might be in the book. Barry Lyndon is beautiful. Some scenes look like a painting, all lit by candlelight rather than electric lighting. That's one thing I seem to remember about the film. Not that I've seen it, but yeah, I have heard that. And then it was a bit of a failure financially on release, which is why we got this film. Any chance of Danny banned the twins? And this is what made him a little crazy. Could be. I own the HMV pre-release, but not watched it yet. My oven hates me and keeps tripping the fuse. Yes, my oven does that sometimes if I have too much steam in the kitchen. Wendy, darling, light of my life. And here's Larry. Welcome, Larry. Just in time for the last 12 minutes. That was it. He's obviously tying the guy's shoelaces for him. Or is he trying to... It's a competition to see if he can do a belt up without using his hands. So now, I'm guessing Danny... I always wonder if that's a mistake on the actor's part when he runs one way, realizes he's made a mistake and runs the other way. Now, technically, if Jack was thinking correct, he can just do the same as Danny, because Danny walks backwards, then hides in a corner, waits for Jack to go past, but he's only a few feet from where the footprints stop. So Jack could just walk backwards because it's obvious what's happened. That's it. Leon Vitale did a documentary about his time with Kubrick called Filmworker. Have you seen it? No. But I did see the name pop up in something about this film. They did something else about this film. But I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, I know they work with him on a few things. Oh, there's promotion for 7-Up. Oh, she's tripping over. Yeah, tripping over the cutlery. I missed a few of these lives. Anything interesting happening? Not really. Last night I was in the cemetery at Uphill watching Return of the Living Dead. So, oh, here we go. So there's where she finds. Yeah, his eye does twitch. Scatman Crothers. And there's there's the guy, the original owner. Wonderful party, whatever he says. Yeah, there it is. He's got a gash down his head. Great party, isn't it? Yeah, so he's got a massive gash down his head. And then allegedly, I think that's what the manager, hotel manager from the old days says in the book. So people say that's the ghost of him. I was going to get the premium release, but the US version was too tempting. Right, here we go. A lot of chasing, but yeah. Apparently the set for the maze was very hot, so they got to pretend it's really cold while they're running through it, and then they ended up taking off layers after they stopped filming because they were sweating so much. Criterion do stack their releases, so I don't blame you. The good old Criterions. Won't buy from a collection that's got Armageddon in. And The Rock. Wonder how many times I have to do this with this kid falling when he goes backwards on his steps. He almost loses his balance there. Oh, here comes the elevator with all the blood. It's funny how she's starting to see everything now, but I'm wondering how they did this. This is a miniature. Because if they had to do it multiple times to get the liquids right, they'd have to clean up a lot. There's nothing wrong with the HMV version, as long as HMV is still open. And before we finish, let's check the garden cam. All clear. No triffids. Right, so here we go. He's still following the steps, and he's disappeared. But instead of going backwards, he thinks about it. Then gets very cross. It's very pretty with all that snow everywhere. Or that probably toxic chemical that made polystyrene everywhere. I could happily watch this film over and over again. It is just great cinema. Yes, I did think that when I watched it, because I've been meaning to do it for a while. But the what is it? 44th anniversary of the UK release seemed apt. Oh, what? Go on, piss off, Moss. Just because the ending's better. I don't know. It might be if they did it with a decent budget and decent actors, they could get away with the hedge monsters coming alive, taking people out, and being a bit shorter. I think the Steadicam operator, yeah, it was the Steadicam operator. That was it. He was going between Rocky 2 and this. So he had to fly by Concorde once a week or twice a week to get. She dropped the knife. What did you drop the knife for? Just because it's dad doesn't mean his dad's not right behind him. But yeah. It is quite convincing. Oh, Savoy, I'm just in a hotel like this in Blackpool at the moment. They have nice hotels in Blackpool, or just haunted ones. The last time you cut to Garden Cam, you'll see Michael Myers in a boiler suit with a knife head. Yeah, I'd be running. Well, the door is locked, but I would be very upset if anything's down there. It's all quiet out there. Too quiet. Right, here we go. The ending. I'm guessing TV movie greater than the feature film. Suck it. Cheeky git. I don't know. There we go. Right. Is your hotel as big as this one, Savannah? Are you busy writing your trunk down the corridors? Oh, here we go. So the snowcat's away. And as I say, they're safe, but does she know which way to go? I'm guessing she's just following the path through the trees. So yeah, Jack's getting a bit tired of wandering around this fecking maze. If he'd have gone out and played with them, he might know the way out. But he stayed indoors. Yeah, does your hotel have a maze in it, Savoy? And you're going to the Pleasure Beach tomorrow. Now, apparently, this look when he's frozen is the same one he gave earlier. I can't remember when he's gormlessly looking at something earlier, and some people have superimposed it, and it's exactly the same face. Right, and then we get the slow zoom down the corridor, saying, "Oh, what's this? What are we looking at? Pictures." So get on with it. And this is all to do with the Native American genocide. Allegedly. That is just quite a statement. You are a moderator, so you take his. I heard you take his moderation away with that statement. There you go. So then we get the. It's a real photo, and then it's one of the best superimposed picture jobs ever. Because normally it's pretty obvious, even by what Forrest Gump days when they superimpose his face on documents. This looks very convincing. And then there's Jack. But how was he there 100 years ago? Let me just grab something. And there we go. We have 2 minutes, 30 seconds of credits. So, yes, tomorrow's film is Psycho 2, Psycho Dad. So I'm hoping if it goes ahead, I'll be downstairs on the couch. And then hopefully the TV, I've just bought a cable adapter that goes from HDMI to SCART, which seemed to work earlier. So the Blu-ray can play on that little telly. Good. I never said I didn't like the feature film. I'm just a big King fan, so I'd have to go with the TV movie, yes. If you're a King fan, you do have to go with that. Right, what's in the credits? Not much in the credits. A few, I think they're Polish musicians. It's a bit of a mixed bag of who did the music. It's all sorts of people. And then, yeah, there's the helicopter photography. The personal assistant, there he is. That's Leon Vitali. There he is, the personal assistant. Yes, we're doing the original Salem's Lot. Hairstyles by Leonard. I did see something in there, but yeah. 2 nights of Salem's Lot, 2 nights of it we've got coming up. Why not split them up as they were supposed to be watched? 20s music advisors. Apparently there's 2 of those. And continuity. So they had a continuity person, despite the fact all the continuity errors are on purpose then. Master Plasterer, Tom Towery, Drapes by Barry Wilson. Acknowledgements to JVC and TV channels. There we go. And then the Ariflex cameras, and then the good old Warner's logo. The end. Well, there we go. It's for bearing with me tonight. You're only here for 10 minutes. No worries. No, Psycho 2 is better than anyone expected. Looking forward to revisiting that one. It is exactly that. It is far better than anyone expected it to be, considering the film it was following. Oops. I said stop, not fast forward. Right. Rewind. Very important. I wasn't expecting any money. Not your stolen cash. But there we go. All right, bedtime. Enough of this nonsense. Oh, St. John's here. Just right for the end. Yes, they're very interesting, the behind the scenes. Always, I know some making ofs don't cover actual behind the scenes. I've seen the master at work, but there we go. Welcome for the ending. Good night, Nos. Yes, one night all. Indeed, well, night all. We'll have one more look. No, garden is clear. So I will bid you good night, and I'll hope to see some of you tomorrow. But we shall see. And then, actually, nothing on Sunday at the moment. Mike's on Sunday with his terrible films. So, I nearly left the studio instead of ended the stream. But good night. Thanks, everyone, for joining me.